So hey guys, this is Biswajit and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can view files present inside a zip file. So let's go on. And if you have not watched my previous video, I do recommend you go and watch that video because we got the zip file from that video. In the previous video, I have shown you how you can zip files using Python, and in this video I'll show you how you can view those files inside the zip files without extracting them. So if I open, so this is a zip file that we created in the previous video. Now if I open it via my WinRAR, I will show you I'm using WinRAR, which is a third-party tool. So if I use this, inside this WinRAR you can see a folder called as data, and inside that we have all our files. Now what we want to view the files that are present and view the file details without extracting them. So how we can do that? So I'll open my Jupyter notebook. This I'll keep it over there. This is my working directory, by the way. Jupyter notebook, and it is created. I'll keep my Explorer over here. Now create new notebook. Now here first thing that we will do, we'll import from zip file. Okay, import star. So for auto completion, always use tab. So for example, from zip, I'm using tab to auto complete. Okay, if you don't know that, I have just said you. If you have not watched my Jupyter notebook shortcut, I do recommend you go and watch that video. Okay, and now here is, first of all, what we have to do is we have the compress.zip file, right? So now with zip file, and we will give the file name as compress.zip, okay, and the file mode as read, okay, as zip. Let me put my browser window over here and the Explorer over here. I guess now it is little bit good. Okay, as zip file object, as zip file object. Now what we have to do is zip file object dot. Now for viewing files, there are many ways you can view the files. Okay, so I have found out 4 methods to do that. So the first way that you can view a zip file is using zip file object dot. If you give name list and you have to give parenthesis, maybe you can put out equal to zip file object dot name list, and if you print out, so you can see, well, it is not very pretty, but still you can see it is giving a list. Okay, and that list contains our CSV file. So pretty sweet. So you can view all the files that are present. So it's showing in this way because there is a folder called as data, and inside that data we have our CSV file. And here it's the same way, inside our data we have books copy 2.csv file. Okay, so like this there are multiple CSV files that are present. So this is one way of viewing it. Okay, here you don't get much detail about the file properties like the file size, but you get the file names, and I guess like you might use this a lot more than the properties. I mean, you might use the file names a lot than the file size or something else, but still I'll show you the other methods. So if I show you from zip file, okay, anyways, our first line is going to be the same, so I'm just gonna copy this and I'm going to paste it. So now the second way of doing it is if we do zip file object dot print dir. This is a method, so you have to pass the parenthesis and shift enter, and you can see this gives a proper file like structure. So like file name, the modified date, and the size. So this gives a proper file structure. Okay, And by the way, if you get confused with this size, like stating what is this, this is actually in bytes. So if we take this file size, let me give you more screen. This is actually in bytes. So if we divide this by 1024, now this is in kilobytes. Okay. Now if we again divide this by 1024, this is in megabytes. So the file size is 1.48 megabytes, and you can cross verify that. You can come over here, you can come to data, books.csv, and if we extract these files and paste it over here, okay, and if I go to properties, 1.48, okay, 1.48. So I guess you are able to understand this file size. Anyways, I just wanted to explain this. Fine. So this was one way. This was the other way of viewing files. Now I'll show you another way of viewing files. So the first line is obviously going to be the same. Now here we will get little bit more details. So it's like zip file object dot file list, and I'm presuming this is actually a string. Yes, this actually returns a list, not string. It's actually returns a list, and this gives you a complete detail. Like here also we got a complete detail, okay, but in a different format. But this gives a complete detail in the form of a list. So if I print this like a list, like if I comment this out, and if I print it like a list for line in out, print line, so you can see this is one item, one list, I mean one file, and it is showing the file name that is present, it is showing the compress type, and it is showing the file mode and the file size. Also it's showing the compress size. So file size is the actual size of the file, okay, and compress size is like what it is the compress size. So you can see here the size is around like it's more that I can say, and it is less over here. Okay, so this is the compress size. Now the funny part about this is you can access this data. So for example, I want to access file name. What I will do is I can do file line dot file name, and it is going to give me the file names. Okay, and if I want the file size, for example this size, file size, if I do this dot file size, we got the file size. So pretty simple, right? So like this we can access the file size and the compress size, and like we can filter out data based upon this. So for example, I want files less than 1 MB to be skipped. Okay, I can do that also. So let's think. Okay, so 1024 is like 1 MB is 1024 into 1024. Now this becomes KB. Okay, I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to convert 1 MB into bytes. So 1 MB means 1024 KB, and 1 KB is 1024 bytes. So if I do this, we get this one, right? Now if I use this, let's see what happens. So if file size, if line dot file size actually the file size of our books file is greater than 1 MB, so I should put 5 MBs maybe. Okay, so I have to give into 5. Yep, this one. Now this looks like this is like, I'll show you the conversion. This 5 MB equal to this much KB. Okay, this much KB. But anyways, you got the main point, right? So I'm trying to filter out based upon the file size. Even we can do that also. So if file size is lesser than, I mean if file size is greater than this number, then we are going to print the line, else not. Okay, so we don't have any files which is like this much heavy in size. Okay, let's consider file size of 2 MB. Okay, I think this should be, this we can do it 2 MB. Okay, so this is the file size that we got for 2 MB. So now if I put it over here and if I do shift and enter, okay, we see we are getting the images .jpg, .jpg, .jpg. Our CSV files are skipped. The reason being our CSV files are having less size. Okay, so our CSV files are having like 1.5 MB, 1.48 MB that is in size, and here our images are having almost around 3 MBs in size. So that's why like when we gave 5 MB as our file size, everything got skipped because like all our files are in 1.5 MB to 3 MB. So now when we give the file size as 2 MB, we are able to see our images. So the main purpose of this part is I just wanted to show you that you can select these details. So I have shown you the one way of extracting, or one way of viewing the files, second way of viewing the files, and the third way of viewing the files. There is another method which is like same as this one. Okay, it's like same to same as what is this, but I'll show you. So if you do this zip file object dot, I think it's info list, and I am presuming that is also a function. Let's check. Yeah, that is also a function. It's not a property, it's a function. So the same thing, we are able to see the same thing, the file name and the file size, the compress size. Now every attribute we can access like using the dot keyword. So for example, if I want to see the compress size, even I can do that like out dot, like obviously not like this, we have to give a loop for line in out, and we can do print line dot compress size. Okay, yeah, and we got the compress size. So yeah, we can do these things. So these are like how you can view files that are present inside your zip file without extracting it at all. Now, so there are 4 ways that I was able to find, and I guess most of the time you are going to use name list, because most of the time you are going to use the file name only. But anyways, if you want more control, you can go with file list or info list. Okay, just remember this is a function that you have to call, and this is not a function. Okay, so that's it for this video, and in the upcoming video I will show you how you can extract these files and how you can partially extract based upon the file size. Okay, so for example, if you have a zip file, you just want the CSV file, or you just want this the image file. So how you can conditionally extract them, that also I'm going to show you. So before ending the video, I just wanted to tell you that we are using a file name that is present in our local. Okay, compress is present in our local. You can view your file from anywhere that is present in your computer. Okay, it's in desktop or it's in C drive, D drive, anywhere. Okay, if it is present in desktop, you just need to pass the whole path. These things I have spoken about in my previous video, so do check that out. So I guess that's it for this video, and if you found this video helpful, do a like, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in an upcoming awesome video.